It's the Shitcase cinema.
Could have taken the money and no one would have cared.
Hello! Now it's amazing to think that over all this time I've only ever reviewed one Steven Seagal film, and that was a good one, Under Siege. So I thought it was time to look at one of his not so good ones. Don't worry, I won't be looking at one of his really bad ones that's churning out these days. This film is just kind of like... well, let's find out. He plays a cop called Roland, and this is where I already start pulling this apart because the back of the DVD spells his name wrong. Roland. Or is it the movie that's wrong? Either way, someone's muffed up and made a mistake, which sums up this film perfectly. Anyway, before the meat of the story begins, we see Roland, or Roland, and his bad boy partner finding some money. Now here's an example of the wonderful dialogue you can expect. Which I must add, this clip even has Seagal's voice dubbed over with a random goon trying to sound like Seagal and failing.
They'll be armed, for sure. So don't be a pussy.
Fuck you.
What's all that about? Sensei Seagal then gets shot, but unfortunately for us he doesn't die, and already you're left wondering what the hell is going on. Just like this bad boy, check this out. I laughed.
I can't believe he's gone. What are you just talking about?
He had a pulse, Trevor. They're taking him to Harper General.
What?
Stupid motherfucker. Anyway, the comedy continues when someone goes to visit Sensei Seagal and he manages to swipe her gun like a ninja. Look at that! All because he knows his partner is coming to kill him. Seconds later, guess who turns up? Yep, he's come to finish the job, but he spends so much time talking that Steven Seagal actually falls asleep, then wakes up to shoot him. Good stuff, yeah?
Motherfucker. You always got to have the last word.
Some of my bitch. Oh, and what does it have to do with anything? Absolutely nothing. The money they found, never mentioned again. The partner storyline, pointless. Steven Seagal getting shot, that just serves him up to be a grumpy, miserable bastard for the rest of the movie. Be thrilled as Sensei Seagal throws knives at a board. Well, he tries. Be amazed as he takes some medication, then throws more knives, then takes more pills. Yeah, we're tired too, Steve. What's next? Yeah, more knife throwing. Are you even kidding me? This carries on until he gets his mojo back. Naturally. As I said in my Under Siege review, how dare you question Steven Seagal? Jumping ahead before we slip into a coma, Seagal is called in to help protect a daughter's friend after her life was threatened. There are 7 billion people on this overpopulated planet of ours, and who's the one and only individual who can save the day? Steven Seagal, of course. Everybody should know that. So this all boils down to the dickhead boyfriend who's got too big for his own boots, and you can pretty much see how things are going to go from here. Seagal comes along, the boyfriend gets jealous, becomes more of a jackass, works with the bad guys, Seagal saves the day, and he will probably get the girl. That's a pretty good summary of almost every Steven Seagal film. 9 times out of 10, that will happen. Fact. If I was as good at predicting the numbers for the National Lottery as I am with the storylines in Steven Seagal's movies, then I would be a rich man indeed. So anyway, back on track. Poor sad sack Seagal has to take retirement from the police force because they think he's crippled. Assholes, what do they know? But he manages to get a job being a bodyguard. Now there's a cool idea for a remake. Seagal will win an Oscar in that for sure. I mean, when the guy can pull off engaging, meaningful scenes like this, the world is just his oyster.
Yeah. Who needs a radio with your kind of musical talents?
You like it? It's a Mexican folk song. Very popular.
Amazing.
Enough of this bullshit. Let's see the sensei in action.
What's the problem?
Oh yeah, bad guys never learn though, and he naturally puts the world to right.
Die, motherfucker. You're gonna die.
I mean, come on, you can't knock it. It's Steven Seagal after all. He can do anything. Except lose weight, but, you know. Now, there's a cop who keeps appearing every now and then, but he's boring, and he seems to serve little to no purpose, so I guess he just must be a fan of Steven Seagal because all he wants to do is talk to him all the time. While Seagal just looks miserable. Hell, I don't know, maybe he's happy there. Now, the most realistic scene in this film for me is when Steven Seagal's talking to the woman that he's babysitting while she's nibbling on a beef burger, and he says this.
Do you always eat like that?
No.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Seagal, that's what you're talking about. You probably snatched it from her when the cameras stopped shooting. Oh, Steven, you're a beast. Now, here's an awesome car chase in which the bad guys are scared of our hero.
The bodyguard's tailing me. Get him off my ass!
They can't kill him though, despite shooting him at close range, and I was really amazed by this scene, so I actually counted the amount of times they shoot at him and miss. It's a total of 20 times. Seagal shoots twice and kills the random goon. Oh yeah. Oh Stephen, you're like a superhero now. And the cops turn up just as Seagal lobs a knife in some guy's throat and he's arrested by the pointless cop.
Down on your knees.
These folks tried to kill me and kidnap my friends.
Get down on your knees.
Yes, sir.
Brilliant. He says it with such enthusiasm. So phone calls are made, yada yada yada, and Seagal walks out scot-free and pointless cop is annoyed, I guess.
God damn it.
I really don't know why this cop has got nothing better to do than just keep tabs on Seagal's character. It makes no sense. Then, and this is amazing, we're treated to an exact same shot from earlier on in the movie, except they've made it darker so it appears like it's night time and then dubbed in some new dialogue, although Sensei just looks fucking fed up by now. So to keep the master happy, here's my top 5 random bullshit moments. Number 1, Seagal's dubbing. I kid you not, I've watched a lot of Steven Seagal movies over the last couple of years. They're like a guilty pleasure at how amusing they are, but for some reason his voice always keeps getting dubbed at random points.
You saying you don't have a warrant?
I'm saying I don't have it signed yet.
Okay, how do we do this?
Maybe he shouldn't whisper so much so they can actually pick up his fucking voice up on the microphones.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, John.
Number 2, Seagal actually shows signs of human emotion once by smiling.
Did you just smile?
Fuck you.
Number 3, Seagal's lingo is all over the place, not to mention his accent. And he even calls his niece man.
I don't know why I can't kick this stuff, man. I'm so tired of it.
It's a great state, man.
And I lost count how many times he says, you know.
Well, you know.
You know.
You know how, well, the thing of it is, you know, well, you know how, you know that. Well, you know.
It's like, you know, he can't remember his dialogue, so, you know, he just makes things up on the spot. Number 4, when escaping bad guys, you can outrun them by taking off your high heels and jumping off buildings that don't give you broken feet. Probably because of masterful editing, she actually jumps on the spot. Look at that, you can tell she's not even jumped, she's just crouching down. Magic of the movies, boys and girls. It's priceless. Number 5, the endless use of doubles for Seagal. It's no doubt because he's off screen killing ninjas, or making up stories about Jean-Claude Van Damme, or just eating burgers.
That's right, I like burgers.
Here's a bonus one. If you want to play a drinking game, take a drink that every time Steven Seagal pulls this face. I hope you've had a good life because you will die. So nothing really interesting happens until the end, but you get to see lots of Seagal sitting around, walking, sitting, walking. He slaps a bad guy around like a little girl, so it's all worth your time. And before you know it, we're at the ending, which is great. The ending isn't great, I mean, it's great that we're at the ending, okay? The ending's a bit of a letdown, if you can believe that. A film with Steven Seagal is a letdown. Oh my god, what's happening in this world? But to be fair, there's some half-decent action, explosions in a gunfight, which is probably most of the budget, up in flames, and it's just there for the sake of having it. And of course, Sensei gets involved in a fight where he naturally wins.
Me casa, tu casa, motherfucker.
Bosh, ouch. And you know, Seagal actually moves pretty fluid for a guy who was let go from the police force because he was crippled at the start. Which seems like a lifetime ago, almost like it was in a separate movie I reviewed years ago. That's the effect that Steven Seagal films have on you, even if you're just reviewing them. Oh, look at that, best death ever, jamming his fingers into the guy's neck. And the power of Steven Seagal means that he doesn't even get bloody hands. Oh, Steven, you're amazing. I'll just let you walk off in slow motion now onto the set of your next awesome adventure. Which in fairness I probably have watched and it gave me some fucking life-threatening disease. Now this film is one of the many endless movies that Seagal churns out these days, like nothing else matters. The funny thing is as well, they get progressively worse as they go on. He's got to be in on the joke, surely. I mean, can you imagine saying to future generations, I used to live in a world where Steven Seagal movies weren't released every 5 seconds. They'd think you were full of shit. Actually, future generations or kids these days won't even know who Steven Seagal is unless he becomes some gimmick of the moment or even becomes a humorous internet joke for the 10-second attention span modern generations. Now, all in all, this film's a bit of a mess. I mean, the plot bounces around so much I felt as though it was being thrown around like a rag doll. It has no idea what it wants to be, and put simply, it does not care. Much like Steven Seagal. I mean, look at that face. Does he care? Maybe I've got everything wrong, actually, and he does care. That's his caring face. So, The Keeper is far from his best, and I kid you not, it is far from his worst as well. Ultimately, it's disappointing, but it is watchable, and you get quite a few unintentional laughs from it. It's just silly, generic Friday night in with a beer entertainment. 4 out of 10.